नमस्ते दोस्तों, हेलो फ्रेंड्स, हाउ आर यू। तो आज हम चर्चा करेंगे डे 6 में फाइल हैंडलिंग की और एक्सेप्शन हैंडलिंग की, विच आर द लास्ट टॉपिक ऑफ दिस क्रैश कोर्स। टुमारो विल गो विद द फाइनल प्रोजेक्ट। सो आपको कोई डाउट है, इफ यू हैव एनी डाउट्स जस्ट पुट इन कमेंट्स। यू कैन इवन मेल अस on aicodeGyan@gmail.com, and if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please subscribe to our channel AI Code Gyan. So, and please do hit the like button. So now let us start. So hello friends, let us talk about file handling. So in file handling, we will talk about read and write operations on files in Python programming. So as जैसे हमने पिछले 5 वीडियोस में देखा, Python बहुत ही आसान लैंग्वेज है. We can even do it from scratch. I mean, we don't have any prerequisites. Let us start with it. So पहले हम जाएंगे open function पे. So open function is used for to open the file, and what are the arguments we give? We give file name and the mode. So we have 4 modes here: R, A, W, X. R is for read, A for append, W is for write, X is for create. So when we talk about R, it will give an error if the file doesn't exist. A will create the file if the file doesn't exist. Write will also create the file if it doesn't exist. And what about X? If the file exists, it will throw an error. So now let us go to the syntax. So f is equal to open bracket file1.txt, close quotes, comma rt. So here R is for read, T is for text file. So we use T for text and B for binary. So it is used for images. Here we are going to use, and this is also by default. If we are not mentioning RT, by default it is mentioned as RT. So now next we'll talk about read function to read the file. So when we talk about f.read and we give some amount of number, that's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it means the number of lines it will read, a number of characters it will read. When we talk about f.read line, so this means it will read one line by default. So f.close, that will close the file, and we have import OS to basically import the path library and to make sure we can compare the file whether it exists or not, and we can remove the file. Now let us do hands-on. File handling. So as we know, file handling is about read and write operations. तो यहाँ पर हम फाइल को अपेंड कर सकते हैं, रीड कर सकते हैं, राइट कर सकते हैं. तो चलिए, अभी हमने एक फाइल बना ली है, x.txt है इसी फोल्डर में. तो सेम फोल्डर में we can make it. Now next what we are going to do, we are simply going to assign f variable after opening the file x.txt. So for now we are not going to give r comma t, rt. This is by default. So read and text file mode. So what we are going to do now let us see what is there in the X file. You have opened a demo file. So suppose we use f.read. So what this will do, let us see. So suppose this will not print anything. Now let us give read 10. Now let's see what it gives. Yeah, so basically we haven't used the print function here. So now let us try with simply read. So this will print all the content. When we give read 5, it will print 5 characters. And suppose if we give read line, there is another inbuilt method, this will give, yeah, so basically this will give the line. So full line it will print. So make sure to comment this and then run this, because what happened, like cursor was there on the 6th character, so that's why it printed from there on. So now suppose we need to write the function. So what we are going to do, let's comment this out. Yeah. So now we need to mention now there is difference between write and append W and A. So what W does, this will write from the, write to the existing file content. So it will replace the full content, whereas append will add the content from last line. So that's a difference of both. So yeah, so we will give RT. So RT is by default. So we'll say, let us simply give A. So now simply we'll write this function. What we are going to do? Yeah, let us write hello world. So what this should add? This should add next to the line you have opened the. Let us try right into the file. So this is the file. So let's see what happens. So basically this returns the length of the string which we have added. So what we are going to do, suppose we need to read the file. So again we can close this. This is always for practice. Now we need to read this. So again we need to use so this will make sure this will print all the contents. Yeah. So this is printed. You open the file. So we have added it twice because this was not commented. So now it has printed. Now we can do one more thing. Suppose instead of A we do W. So what this will do? So all the contents are removed and what we receive is just a hello file. So W will replace the whole content. Just keep this in mind. So we have already done both. So what X is going to do? Suppose if we use X here instead of AWR, that will create the file. So suppose we use myfile.txt. So what this will do? This will create this file. So there will be one file which is created. Let us see. Yeah. So here we can see there is one file, myfile.txt, which is created. So similarly, we can, even if we use W, this will create a file. Yeah, so basically this will throw an error. X will throw an error if the file exists and my file is already created. It is throwing an error. Now let us comment this and yeah. So let us comment this as well. Now let us see what is the. Yeah, so it is created. Basically, there is no error. You can see there is the file one which is created here. Now, what is left is deleting the file content. So how we can delete the file? So we import a library, import OS. So simply os.remove file1.txt. This will remove the file name. Let's try now. It is given error. Suppose let us write. Let's try deleting myfile.txt. Let's put something inside this. So it doesn't work on empty file. Just make sure, since we have some, we added something in my file, it deleted that my file. So we don't have. And suppose we need to check whether this file exists, and then we need to do. So what we'll do, we'll use if os.path. So what is left? File 1. So let us add some content to file 1. else we can print file doesn't exist. So this problem will be solved, because else it will throw an error. Let us put in open and close quotes. Now what we need to do, so we have the file1.txt with hello. So here we are going to add one print method, that is file exist, to make sure that and when it is deleted we'll say file is deleted. Now what we would do now, so now let us comment this out, else it will create another file again. So now let us hit this. So file exists on the path, and yes, it is deleted. We can say now again, if we hit this, it will say file does not exist. So we are done with this, and suppose we want to delete a directory, we can even use os.rmdir, that is rm directory along with the path. So this will delete the whole directory. We have put the file in a directory. So now let us go to exception handling. Hello friends, now let us talk about exception handling. So as the name suggests, basically exceptions handling is responsible for handling exception or errors. So basically an exception is an event that interrupts the flow of a program with error. So आपको कोई error आया है तो उसको जब handle करते हैं तो उसे exception handling बोलते हैं. So there are like 3 types of common exception, you can say, error in Python programming, that are zero division error, type error, and value error. And there is a name error as well. So zero division error, when we talk about anything divided by 0 that leads to not defined, so that's why it gives us zero division error. Second, when we talk about type error, it is like attempting to perform an operation on wrong data type. And when we talk about value error, that means when we are using typecasting, we are using wrong data type. So we are using typecasting on a string to an integer, so that means it is giving a wrong input. So then the error will be value error. So we have like 4 different kinds of methods, 4 methods which we use in Python programming to handle exception: try, except, else, and finally. So try, which we use it for testing the basically program whether the error is occurring. So, and except is used for handling that error. Suppose if we are using except and then zero division error, so what that will do, that will handle that zero division error, and that will not lead to a early halt of the program. And when we use else, so if there is no exception, this else will work, else control flow will work. And if what about finally? So finally is something which will be working even if try and else is not working, or even if there's an error, so still finally will be working, and if there's no error, then also this will be printed. So finally is used for usually file closing. That so that is for file closing. So that will print always. We can even throw an exception in Python using raise exception. We can throw in a custom exception, we can name an exception, and we can throw it using raise exception. Now let us go to hands-on. Let us start with exception handling. So basically we have 4 methods: try, except, else, and finally, which we use in Python for exception handling. So here try is used for basically testing the code whether there is an error. And except is for handling that exception or error, I can say. The else is if there is no error, and this finally it will be printed always. So now let us try an example. Suppose if, so we used try here, print x, so something went wrong here. So let's see. So suppose if we don't use this except, so what is going to happen? This will throw an error. I mean, even if you don't have try. So name it is a name error basically. Name x is not defined. So we can use it for different. I mean, different types. We can even use here except name error, and here we can mention the up dot hierarchy, that is something. It is a name error. So we do have else as well, as we discussed. So this will print that nothing is wrong. So it is a name error, that's why it will say okay, it will produce it is a name error. Yep. Now let us test something else. Yep. Suppose if we have here some name is there, and we are going to put except and if we say else, no error. So what this will do, this will be no error because there is no exception here. Now suppose we are trying something zero division error. Yeah, so we are trying with zero division error. So let us try x is equal to input enter a number. Suppose we typecast to int print y, and so let's see what is this is going to do. So this is a type of zero division error. So say a non-zero integer number. Suppose we enter 0, so please give a non-zero number, this will print. Similarly, we can give for type error and value error. So suppose if we give so simply print y, and so suppose if we don't give any except statement, let's see what it does. Print x. So suppose it has a prompt and we say arrow. So this will give a what? Invalid literal. So this is a value error basically because we are going to assign an string to int. So suppose if we put so this will print the value error. So we can see this is a, so we have one more as type error. So there's one more thing is finally we can use here as we discussed. So anything happen, this is used for closing the file basically. So we can simply say close the file. So suppose, so simply this close file, this will be printed. No, there is no error. Or if we run it again and we give a character, so then also it will print. So it will print in every case, but this will be a value error. So we have discussed 3 or 4 types of error as well. Now we can even apply this on file handling. So suppose we have f is equal to open so suppose this is x.txt and we don't give anything here. So let's put try here, and when we give write hello here, so this will make sure, yeah, so this will throw an error. So here also we can use it, and we can use finally to close the file here, f.close, file is closed. So in this case also file has been closed, this will print. Suppose if we give our permissions, w permissions, so let's see how this works. So we have we are able to write to the file and we have closed it. Now what is left? Yeah, so this is done. Yeah, we can even raise a custom exception here. Suppose x is equal to 1 minus 1 here, and we can put a condition like something like if x greater than 0, raise exception. Although it's a type of, so we can do like this as well. Let us close this and try now. So it has thrown an exception, value cannot be negative, and we can even name it as value error. This will also, yeah. So we can use trace to throw custom exception here. So today we have completed both file handling and exception handling. If you enjoyed, just put in comments. We'll be putting some more videos on problems. So now next we'll be going with final project. So thank you, bye bye. Hello friends, so today we have completed day 6 of our Python crash course. So we have nearly completed with all the topics. So tomorrow we'll be going with the final project. So I hope you have understood everything. If you went out, just put in comments, and please do subscribe to our channel. And if you have missed any of the videos, please do go to the link of the playlist which is mentioned in the video description. You can go through it and you can revise the topics. Now next we'll be going with the project, and we'll also going to some advanced projects, advanced topics. So thank you, bye bye.